Hey, welcome to my hike. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin, and this is Hiking with Kevin. And can I be honest with you? Man, the views up here are absolutely incredible. I hope you're able to handle that honesty. That's what you have to do now. You have to warn people you're going to be honest. Because we live in a world now where people lie, they put a spin on things, and if you don't warn them you're going to be honest, it's a real jolt to the body. You know what I mean?
For this show, he's been on 3 or 4 times now. He used to start with some hot chick, but who knows what happened to her. But I got to say that Greg Charles, for years going down to my days in Miami, this guy's been so good to me. And he basically brings all the Carolines acts over. And he reminded me that today, one of our other favorites is Gilbert Gottfried. And today is Gilbert's birthday. You have any idea?
Happy birthday,
there you go.
Gilbert. Happy birthday.
Well, poor Gilbert. We haven't seen him in a long time.
No, I just saw him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I told you.
But he didn't want to come in. He wanted to do it
on
over the phone.
Right,
he's coming in. He's coming in.
He's coming in next week.
Okay,
but I
good,
saw him
good,
in the street, and every time I see him, it's like the first time. But Kevin, on the other hand, Kevin Nealon, who'll be at Carolines tonight through Saturday. Of course, you can go to Carolines.com and buy the tickets in that CBS TV sitcom Man with a Plan. That's Mondays at 8:30. And you just heard his YouTube series, which is called Hiking with Kevin, which you talked about last time. In fact, you did what every guest does. You invited me and Bernie on and never followed up. Every guest does that.
Right.
And you're just so full. You talk about being honest.
We're sitting there looking at the phone, waiting for a call.
Where the hell's
nothing?
Nealon? Yeah.
Well, may I comment on that?
Not really.
First of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you
And
very much.
thanks for coming down.
I'm coming to the studio in person. I don't call phone.
That's right. See that?
Yes.
And that's and how do we repay you? We yell at you for
Will you show up the next time I invite you for a hike? I was there waiting for you guys for like 2 hours.
So you contacted Jill. She didn't tell us?
She did not tell you.
Yes,
apparently.
I know it was you. I know it wasn't Kevin. No, be honest. You're never going to invite us, sorry. Because you have like real stars there. Like
you don't leave this.
The guy
city.
that played in the show with the car, David Hasselhoff.
Oh, David. He hasn't been on the show. But you guys don't leave the city.
No, we do.
You wouldn't fly out to L.A. to do a hike.
No, we wouldn't. You would fly us out to L.A.
No, listen. This
That's
guy.
why you didn't show up.
We would do anything. But by the way, hiking with Kevin, it sounds like a fun thing. Is it like a Bear Grylls thing where you rough it in the woods?
No, it's only
pack
for
a lunch.
We hike like an hour or two.
Oh,
and some of the hikes are a little more challenging than other hikes. I have
Nice.
some guests that aren't real hikers, so we do a flatline hike. We have a cup of coffee.
You mean real hiker? Like you actually like hook up like the apparatus? And
No. The only apparatus sometimes is a cup of coffee.
That's it.
Yeah.
And is it altitude, Kevin, or is it rocks?
Sometimes it's rocks and altitude. Other times it's flatlining. It's just walking flat,
Right.
like Spade. David Spade didn't want any kind of an incline.
Right.
And so I said, okay, I got a good trail for that. So he comes, and there was a 1% incline at one point, and he
got
picked
crazy.
it up. He got crazy. It's almost he had to sit down.
What's wrong with him? He's a skinny kid. He looked like he's not Louis Anderson for God's
Well,
sake.
he's got some joint issues, I guess.
Dave does. No, Dave does. He's great.
He's great,
Listen
yeah.
to what Dave does.
I met Dave once. We're good friends.
Oh my God!
I don't understand why a show like that has your star power. And
Your star power.
Right, and you got guys like David Spade.
Yeah.
Why is that on YouTube? Why isn't that on Netflix or network television? Why is it on YouTube?
Well, Netflix didn't want it.
Oh, you did go to them?
Yeah.
They wanted
Yeah, no, we're
Obama
taking-
with
we're
David
taking it
Letterman
around.
instead?
I don't know what they want, but
Look,
we're taking
who
it
cares?
around.
It's on YouTube. The man is on a CBS sitcom, A Man with a Plan.
Great show.
And he's performing at Caroline's tonight for through Saturday.
That's right, Thursday through Saturday night.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Two shows
don't
on
worry
Sunday.
about why it's not on Netflix.
It's fine. I look at Nealon like he's like a major star.
Look, the truth is, I like to keep a little niche kind of a thing on YouTube. I
is
don't
that
want
true?
branching out where there's a lot of other shows.
No,
Just
you're
come
right.
right to my channel, Kevin Nealon
That
Comedy.
is kind of cool.
Hashtag hiking with Kevin. You see the hike, you go for a
You
hike.
make money on
It's
that
fun.
thing?
Not much.
Not much.
No.
But you make enough money with CBS, and then you dealt weed in California for a couple of years.
I
Probably.
do. Yeah, I make all of my money from dealing weed. But it's weed I've had since the 70s.
Right.
Which is very weak stuff.
Well, it's like wine. No, it's been fermented, and it's much.
That's why when he was on that show on Showtime, which was a brilliant
Weeds.
show. Yeah, he wasn't acting. That's kind of like Howard Stern in Private Parts.
That's right. That's right.
He's pretty sharp for a guy, if that's true, and I don't believe that. He's, usually those guys.
Actually, that was not real pot we smoked on that show. It was
Right.
actually what they smoke on every TV show. A lot of people know it's called a honey rose herb.
Really?
Yeah, it's very light, but it's got a little bit of a kick to it because you get it from the honey rose herb cartel in Colombia. Take a break. We'll be right back.
Kevin Nealon, that's funny.
But you're not that type of guy. You don't like drink or do. Never.
I'm like you, man. I'm all about my body, keeping in shape.
No, you're in great shape. You're in great shape. Very handsome.
God, yeah.
But you say you're like me, but there was a time when I was doing a lot of cocaine and drinking.
Were you really?
Oh, God, 30 years. Went to rehab twice.
You were doing blow?
A lot of blow.
How's your nasal passage?
I burnt a hole through the middle of my...
Did you really?
Terrible. Yeah.
Awful. No, he was...
You never did that?
He didn't need that, though.
I did. I still needed that.
But look, you're like type A personality right now. What does that do when someone like
you don't want to be next to me. I'd build homes. I'd build communities. I'd build half a Boca Raton in one night. And I wanted a second 8-ball.
No, he was out of his mind. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
it wasn't good, but he's good now. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him.
He's
Listen.
so relaxed now and
mellow. So, by the way, he goes, I'm so out of my mind. There were nights when Bernie...
I was with him.
Cutting it up.
I was there.
Really? Bernie, you were partaking in?
Well, there were occasions.
Plenty,
but
I've
never done.
But listen,
I've never done coke. In my
never.
Life. I've been
Not-
offered. Believe me, in the 80s and 90s, I've been offered tons of coke,
Especially on SNL.
at a lot of like clubs and radio
Right.
stations,
Yeah.
especially this one. But I never took it. I never took it.
you should, that's discipline. I mean, back in the day, everybody was.
It's not really discipline as it is fear. I don't like to put stuff in my body that I can't. Once it's in there, I can't get it out.
Right.
Control it.
Well, good for you. That's admirable, I guess. Look. I caught myself and said no more, no mas. I
Sounds
eventually
like it
got
was
religion.
fun. I mean,
it was a lot of fun.
If I had the nerve, I would have done
For
it.
like the first 2 hours, it's fun, and then
Oh, God. The next 3 days.
Yeah,
is
it's
enough.
terrible.
So now,
It's
what
awful.
about your heroin experience? How was
That was I've only done that once. I snorted
Did
it.
you really?
Yeah, I don't want to put a needle in my mouth, but I did snort it. Yeah.
You didn't want to snort a needle?
No, I don't want to snort it.
Hey, listen, Kevin Nealon, you grew up. You graduated from
did
Catholic
grow up.
high school in Connecticut.
Yes.
But we're talking about Alan Alda a little while ago, and he was on with us a couple of weeks ago. He's
Yeah.
a New York guy, and he still lives in Manhattan. But you sold out. You went to Hollywood, and now you're too good for New York. What's going on?
Well, I didn't grow up in New York. I had, I was here during SNL, so I had various apartments. I lived all over the city.
Oh, wow.
I experimented with every little borough, and I had to move to Los Angeles because my job expired here. And you have to have a job in New York to be able to live here.
True.
A really good job.
Right, exactly.
In fact,
It's a tough town.
when I first got SNL, Lauren Michaels, the producer, goes, spend all your money on an apartment, because that's where you need to go to relax and be comfortable. So I had a place, my best place, and my last couple of years was in the West Village, right by the meatpacking industry.
So cool.
on
Yes,
Greenwich
yes,
Street.
yes.
It was a walk-up federal building. I was on the second and third floor, I think, or third and fourth floor. Easy walk-up, 4 bedrooms, 4 fireplaces in the living room, high ceiling on the
my
top
God.
floor. It looked like the Friends kitchen, you know, on the episode. Where do you find that? But that was it.
Yeah.
So when the jobs dried up, though, that's when you had to go where the jobs were, and that's your excuse for fleeing our town.
You call it jobs, I call it love.
Yeah.
You got to go where the love is,
there
man.
it is.
You got to go where the
True,
love
Now,
is.
listen,
that.
LA is
True
gorgeous.
that.
We had, who was that rapper who was in here a couple weeks ago? He
R.
also-
Kelly?
No. What's his name? The guy.
He went to LA from the Bronx.
The guy, actually, Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow, that's right. He loves about saying.
Speaking of Blow.
Yeah, talking about Blow. So, and by the way, I asked him, I said, did you get that nickname because you did as much as me? And he denied it. He gave
denied
some
it,
other
which is a
cockamamie,
lie.
That's a lie. So, when they go over the greatest SNL players of all time,
I don't like those lists.
No,
When
I don't
Rolling
either.
Stone comes out with like the best, they rank everybody. It's such bogus. It's so subjective. Comedy is so subjective.
well, it's not subjective.
I only
Let's
say that
go.
because that was
No.
last time.
Yeah, that's what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying. That's why you're saying that. I mean, no one's going to argue Eddie Murphy's success, Adam Sandler's success, Steve Martin. The list goes on and on. But on a serious note, forgetting about success off the show, on the show, you absolutely top 5.
I was the
100%.
best. I was number 1.
Number 1. Okay.
Yeah, on the show.
Well,
on
yeah,
the
of
show.
course.
Yeah.
You have to say.
You really were. You were great at that. You were great. A lot of guys got better later. You were great on SNL.
Thank you.
And it's never been the same since you left.
Do you know how I got on that show?
No.
A lot of people ask me, how did you get on SNL? Although they phrase it more like this. How did you get on SNL?
Well, just before you even you started, you appeared on Johnny Carson's show.
Yeah, I was a stand-up.
I mean,
I was never even going after that show.
Let me tell you something. That's amazing that you were on Carson's show. We're sitting here.
That is cool.
What, 2 degrees of separation?
Yeah.
Us, you, Johnny Carson. I mean, that is incredible.
You guys worked as pages over there?
No, but we were on the,
I worked at 30 Rock.
we were on the
for many
Pat
years.
Sajak show twice.
Yeah. in fact,
I love the way you call it the Pat Sajak show. You mean the talk show or Wheel of Fortune?
I was working at 30 Rock when you were on in 1984 when you were on Carson, but that was L.A., right?
Yeah, it was L.A.
Okay. So, but anyway, you were on Carson's show. That's where you got your first big break, and then you moved on later on to Saturday Night Live.
That's right. I mean, the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, to this day, even after SNL and Weeds, has always been the most exciting thing I've ever done.
I would imagine.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, to be on that show as a stand-up, because I wanted to be a stand-up.
Right.
And that was like, once you do that show, it kind of validates you. You're like passing your bar exam.
Absolutely.
And you sat down with Johnny after?
I got a panel afterwards, but I'll tell you, man, I was so nervous going out there. To my mark on the floor. When they open up the curtains, he introduces me, and I'm thinking, I'm doing it. I'm finally doing it.
Yeah.
And I forgot my line. I couldn't remember the opening line. The audience is applauding still. I'm thinking, what is it? What is it?
That's terrible.
And the last clap ended, and I rembered it.
And then you kicked it.
And I started going, and I was getting applause breaks and laughter. I could hear Johnny laughing over my shoulder, and Ed burping, and then I thought, man, I'm killing it. And then I go behind the curtain, and the talent coordinator says, go back out there. He wants to talk to you on the couch. And I know everybody's watching it at the Improv.
That's great.
Is that how you get your job at SNL because of that, or something else happened somewhere?
Well, what happened was I was friends with Dana Carvey, and he got selected that summer to be on that coming fall. And I was excited for him. And I was also dating Jan Hooks at the time. And I was excited for her because she was up for it. And I wasn't even thinking about being on it. And so Dana calls me one day from Lauren's house. He goes, I'm out at Lorne Michaels' house. They're looking for one more cast member. I told them about you, and I think they want to see your tapes. Guess who's in the kitchen? Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. I said, you're kidding me. God. Oh, no. And I didn't even hear the other stuff because I knew I'd never get on that show because I'm just I don't do sketches or characters. I'm a stand-up, just a really, really good stand-up, Right. And so I sent him my tape, and 2 weeks later I get another call. I'm back at Lorne Michaels' house. Guess who's in the kitchen? Steve Martin. I said, you're kidding me. No. Anyway, Lauren, like your tapes, they're going to fly you in for an audition. I said, Steve Martin's in the kitchen? I didn't even believe the other stuff. Next thing I know, I'm auditioning. I'm doing it at 30 Rock, Studio 8H. And I know it's just a free trip to New York. I'm never going to get it. I fly back. 2 weeks later, I'm sitting in front of Lorne Michaels. He goes, he's offering me a job at SNL. I said, well, let me think about it over the weekend. Because that's the way I roll, man.
Sure.
Wow. That's how I get. That's how I get things.
You don't want to seem desperate.
How do you think I ended up on your show? I work it. That's how I work it.
I'll call him back next week.
Right.
So the next thing I know, he goes, well, you think about it over the weekend. We'll see you in New York on Monday. Next thing I know, I'm here and I'm at his house.
Unbelievable.
And I'm at Lorne Michaels' house in Long Island. And I got a call from Dana. He goes, Kev, I'm back at Lorne Michaels' house. Guess who's in the kitchen? I said, I'm in the kitchen now, tough guy. Because I showed up.
Great.
I'm
in the kitchen. That's
story.
Great.
What a fantasy. A dream come true.
Well, it could happen to a nicer guy. I want you guys to all go see Kevin Nealon again. He's at Caroline's tonight through Saturday. Carolines.com is you get all the info. You get tickets. Watch him on CBS, A Man with a Plan, every Monday night at 8:30. And check out, it's a great show, his YouTube series, Hiking with Kevin. We love you, by the way.
Thank you. I love you guys, too, man.
The great
I think
Kevin
about you all the
Nealon.
time.
He is fantastic. Thank you, Kevin. You can call in next time on the Bernie and Sid Show.